And we are live. Hello and welcome, guys. My name is KP Singh, and I welcome one and all to today's session on a live discussion with students from Jindal Global Law School. So I welcome Sejal Sood, Rohi Ati, and Mansha Nagpal to this discussion. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for taking out time and providing an insight into the college. And I believe most of the students would be really excited about this session. People have so many questions, so many queries about Jindal in general and their BA honors program in particular, because that is something really new. Okay, so let's start with the basic introduction part. I want each one of you to provide a brief introduction. So what students would be interested in would be your background, like where are you guys from? How did you get interested in the field of law? Then why did you finalize on Jindal? And then you can talk about your journey in particular, like what are you doing nowadays? Let's start with who is the senior most here? I think it should be Mansha, right? Final year student.
I think it's Ruhi.
Rohi, okay, Rohi ma'am, bataiye.
Okay, so I will start off by saying that so right now I'm currently pursuing the 3-year LL.B program, which means I had an undergrad degree before I went for this. So in my undergrad, I was in the Jindal Global Business School, and that is what I thought I was going to make a career path out of. But as I was in Jindal, I was interacting with a lot of students from the 5-year law program. I had a lot of friends from that program. I started realizing that, maybe law is something that I want to do. And I also had a lot of exposure to the faculty here at Jindal, because the faculty in my business school, they gave me a very multidisciplinary approach. I had access to electives in the law school. I could access the JGLS faculty even without being a JGLS student myself. And I think that was something that was very great. So I had friends from JGLS. I had access to faculty, and I overall decided that law school is something that I wanted to go for. And I think that's a very good thing about Jindal is the multidisciplinary approach. If you're in a different school, you can still have a lot of access to courses, electives, faculty and friends from other schools, and it gives you a very holistic all-round approach.
Rohi, I can say that you decided once you joined Jindal for your business program, then you realized that no, law is my real calling and I should also get into that.
Yeah,
Great.
just because of all the exposure. It was
And
great.
plus you like the general lifestyle of being a Jindal student, and therefore you wanted to continue. Is that so?
Of course. Yeah, I really want to stay for 3 more years.
Okay. So if given a choice, would you want to spend a couple of more years there for your masters, or let's say?
I mean, I think, I would love to, but I think that time has passed now.
Okay, chale. So I hope you're enjoying your great college life. Moving on to Mansha. Mansha, what about you? Where are you from? How did you get interested in the field of law? And why did you finalize on BA program at Jindal?
So I'm from Sonipat, Haryana itself. So the interesting thing is that I've seen the campus growing since 2009, and then, the formative years. So I've seen how the thing is really grown. And, the best thing about Jindal is that it truly takes the word global in its true sense. So the BA Honors Legal Studies program, draws its inspiration from other American universities. So I had the opportunity of interacting Professor Jayant Krishnan from University of Bloomington, and our Vice Chancellor, had a word with him before starting this degree program in India. And the kind of, background that this course provides, not only the theoretical structure, the foundation, the traditional 5-year course is already there, but the kind of background it provides you before entering into a 3-year law degree, I think that's amazing. And the biggest advantage is that our faculty members are same as any other 5-year law course professor that they enroll in, and also additionally I'll end up studying even more electives, like I'm in my final year as of now, so I have 3 electives. So I can take arbitration, I can take finance, risk management, as we also mentioned that our approach is more interdisciplinary. So that's how, I chose this degree and I chose this
Mansha,
path.
if you have to pinpoint, let's say, 3 to 5 differences between a 5-year integrated law program vis-a-vis a 3+3 year program that Jindal is offering nowadays,
Yeah, so
what are
like
the differentiators?
in a traditional BA, LLB, and Sejal would agree with me here that initial 2 years, are usually spent on studying BA oriented subjects like sociology, history. In legal studies, the difference is that you start with torts and constitution, the basic of things. Then you study legal methodology, consumer protection, and then legal history of things. So, for instance, I don't know, like in BE in a honors, BE honors LLB, like the 5-year course, we're not taught the history of Supreme Court of America or the Supreme Court of India, how it came, the history of sedition, for instance. So it's more a detailed perspective towards things, and
Can
you
you give
end
us
up.
a brief idea about history of sedition, because that's a burning issue ongoing
Yeah,
nowadays?
so like it all started with the Bal Gangadhar Tilak case. So that was the initial thing, and I studied this when I was doing the course on history of courts. So that is really interesting. And then Justice Chagla was there, and the founder of Pakistan, Muhammad Ali Jinnah, was also the advocate for the other party. That is really interesting. You get to know the nuances of legal things, of how the things have originated, how things are evolving over the time. So that's how I'll put it in brief. I
And
can go on and on.
that will help us in shaping us our opinion about different burning
Yeah,
issues, right?
yes, yes.
So what's your take on the sedition controversy which is going on right now? Shall we remove the provision altogether, or is there any need to keep it in the statute book?
I think as a law student, there are diverse perspectives on it, and seeing the history of it, and I think it should not be arbitrary in nature. That's what I would say. And rest, it's on courts to decide. The arbitrariness factors, I believe, that's something that the judges, the advocates, and law students, we should ponder upon.
Okay. Chale. So going back to our discussion, so we are trying to find out the stark differences between 5-year integrated law course and the 3-year BA honors program. So first one being that in BA LLB or the 5-year integrated course, you will be introduced to legal subjects. You can say much earlier, but philosophical part of law will not be there, or will not be there to such an extent जितना आपको BA में मिलेगा. Right, so
Yes.
you're studying more about I think jurisprudence is given more thrust on. Is that?
Yeah, political and legal thought. We have it by the name of political and legal thought instead of going with jurisprudence 1 and jurisprudence 2. So that's how we start. So we read John Locke and then other philosophers, and then Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So that's how the thing goes. We did that in first semester. So,
Till 1988 in India, if anybody wanted to pursue law, only 3-year law options were available.
absolutely.
That means it was considered that law is a degree of mature people, and hence you should have certain level of maturity before you can enroll for the law program. And because of that, you had to pursue graduation in some field before you enroll yourself for the LLB program. It was all because of Padma Bhushan Madhav Menon that National Law School was set up in Bangalore, and then this 5-year integrated course became so popular that many other institutes and colleges started offering that. So I think it is a very sensible take on this entire 5-year law course as well as 3-year law course thing that Jindal has come up with. It will strike a balance between these two. Chale, moving on to Sejal, we just need your brief background. Where are you from? How did you get interested in the field of law? And why did you,
Right.
decide about Jindal?
Yeah. So my name is Sejal Sood. I am a student of BBA LLB, not BA LLB. I'm in my second year. I am from Chandigarh, and besides college, I also work as a professional content creator on Twitter. That is more of my profession that I do. Getting back to college now. So, excuse me, I come from a law and business background. So I was mainly interested in business, but now that is ironic. Why did I get into law? I personally believe business is an art, not a science. And as I was from a legal background, I realized that probably, studying law or the law of land always makes you more aware about your rights. And it always gives you a diverse perspective. I think law is a very, dynamic degree, at least my courses. I get an integrated degree or probably a dual degree where I study business. I know how the nuances of business work. Though obviously business is more practical, but I get the sense of the theoretical aspect. Whereas I also get to know the law, right? And I personally believe that the degree was just the perfect fit for me. And that is some way I wanted to go. So this is more of my reason for taking this degree. If you have any further questions, I'll be more than happy to answer those.
So Rohi moved from business to law and you want to move from law to business. Is that so?
Yeah, but though I am professionally working as a content creator on Twitter, so I work with all these brands and help them run literacy campaigns. So pretty
Nice.
much, but for my education, I wanted law as a base.
Okay. So what motivated you to join law as a program? So why law in the first place?
I think that's one of the most practical degrees in our country. I don't need a placement exactly to start, though I already earn, but if I want to probably increase a further source of income, I don't really need a placement. That is one. I am self-sufficient to probably practice on my own. It also probably just makes me more smarter, right? I think it makes me more aware of my legal rights. Trust me, when I go to certain places as a legal student and things don't really go the right way, I know there's a legal recourse available to me and I am still more aware of my rights. So that was another reason. Also, the third reason was probably because I told you it's a practical degree, right? There's even if you don't get a placement, it is still very practical. I can practice on my own. And also I think it just made sense to me because I do come from a legal background at my house. So it was just like I have seen how practical the profession is, and I also have a great admiration for it, though probably directly practicing might not be the right exact thing I might be interested in right now. But it just was the perfect fit for me. I just fit in like a piece of the puzzle.
Sorry, great answer. So, Rohi, Manas, and Sejal, question is for all of you. And all the students who are watching this session right now would be really interested to know what are the career prospects in this field, and what area of which career path are you going to choose in future life? So, what are the different things that people can look up to? The most exciting things about law as a career. Rohi, first.
Okay, so this also ties in with why I actually joined law school in the first place. So my parents have a friend who was a human rights lawyer at the United Nations. So I mean, I thought that was incredible. I was very interested in that field. So that's primarily why I joined law. I do want to get into the human rights law field eventually, but on a broader level, just answering your question, I think that law is something that I the careers are unlimited, I think. As Sejal said, she's getting a law degree right now, but she's more inclined towards the business field of things. And she can use that degree in her business area to still constructively build on her career. And I think that law has a lot of international opportunities. You can get a lot of, as I said, international human rights law, something I'm interested in. You can go into litigation, you can go into arbitration. And, all of these things, though they are legal, they are so vast in nature that they are not all similar. So I think there's a lot there for you to explore within law, and I genuinely feel that with a law degree there is a career for almost everybody.
Okay, is it true that everyone needs to be good with their oratory skills if they want to excel in this field?
No, not necessarily. I know that this is a common misconception about law school, and I mean, if you're going into litigation, for example, to a certain extent, that is very true. But I think more than that, I think logical reasoning, these are the kinds of skills, and writing is also an important skill to have when you are in law school. And if you're a good orator, that's great. You can go for something like litigation. But if you're good at writing, there's a lot of research positions that you can look for. If you're good at logic, it'll help you overall in your career. So that is very much not true. I disagree with that statement.
Very great. Moving on to Mansha, same question. What do you think are the most amazing career prospects in this field, and which one will you opt?
Yeah, so at the outset, again, I would like to mention that, law is a very dynamic field. So, we can start with NGOs, think tanks, research organizations. Of course, campus placements into corporate houses, they are the most sought after ones. And then also, I was reading our alumni, Mr. Barun, he came rank one as Judge Advocate General, JAG, that is in the Indian Army. So, see the diversity of things. I mean, you can also get into army. I mean, being an advocate, you go, you get the tag of the army as this. That is the most, that is also the new thing, that is coming in. And I heard that for the very first time, and I was quite amazed to know this, that we have our own alumni pursuing that side of things. So I think think tanks, NGOs. Also, I believe, like, since I'm in BALS, I met a lot of people in my class who are, by the time they turn 21, they'll have one degree already. They'll prepare for UPSC exams. So they'll take UPSC exams. So I think this degree, the degree I'm in, is very flexible in terms of changing things. So for instance, if you want to take any competitive exams, you can easily do that. And you want to continue LLB after this, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So
So, if someone is pursuing, BA liberal, studies program at Jindal right now, and
Right.
if they want to pursue LLB later on, is there some sort of reservation or quota for them?
uh, I'm not sure about this, but I think they give a lot of preference to the alumni. So, like, if I leave as of now and then I want to come 2-3 years later, I think there will be a certain provision, but then I'll have to give another exam to sit for it. So that is, I don't think that there is any specific policy on that.
So
But
you're in
yeah,
the
there
final
is.
year of your 3-year program, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means this year you have to decide whether you want to
Yeah.
continue.
I've already decided because I have an offer letter. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
You have offer letter for?
for the LLB course. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So that means you guys are given offer letter if you are pursuing BA program there, right?
Yeah, we are given an offer letter based on our performance and other criteria that we have to fulfill.
All right. So what percentage of students will be getting these kind of offers from your batch? What is the total batch size?
For my class, if I say there are 3 sections, so 50 on an average multiply by 30, around 150 to 160 students.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So 150 plus students, and around, let's say, 50 students will be getting such offers?
No, more than that. I think.
More than that.
Yeah.
Great. So if you secure admission for your BA program, that means there is relatively
High chance.
high chances that you will also secure seat for the 3-year LLB program.
Yeah.
Chaliye. So there's a question on my screen. Some student is asking as an anonymous attendee. What is the difference between BBLLB and BLLB? I think Sejal should be answering that one because she was very categorically, clarifying that no, I'm not in BLLB, I'm in BBLLB. Chaliye, can you point out a few differences?
Right. See, firstly, excuse me. Firstly, the name signifies it, BA versus BBA, right? BA LLB and BBA LLB. So BBA LLB might have some slight inclination towards more business-oriented subjects such as marketing. You will have probably business management and few other subjects. So probably more around how an organizational structure works, how probably different companies run these marketing techniques. You have accounting and more about reading financial statements. That might not be prevalent in the BA course because the BA course is more around probably history, humanities. So that's how the subject division is there. But I don't think there's much for the law part. There isn't much fundamental difference. It's probably more like the integrated fusions that are there, like BA, BCom, BBA. So that's how it is. But at the end of the day, fundamentally, they're all law courses, so pretty much similar.
So,
If I could answer that question a little bit further. So I think the main difference between the BLB course and the BBLB course in terms of legal subjects is, so the BLB course would have 2 jurisprudences. So you would study Juris 1 and Juris 2, and they would have only one law of taxation, whereas in the BBLLB course, they have only one jurisprudence and they study law of taxation more in depth.
So other than the difference about the past course subjects, there will be difference in some law subjects too. This is what I can make out from Joy's response.
I personally don't think so. See,
just very small differences, not
very
much.
Minimal,
Very,
but
very
I
small.
don't think so because in my room, like the roomies I share the room with, we have BCom, one from BCom, one from BBA, and one from BA. So at least what I have seen till now, we have similar law subjects, but what the best thing that you can do is go on Jindal's website, look up the course curriculum, and then I think that's the best guide, right? Because sometimes subjects do change. So the best thing is go to Jindal's website, look up the 5-year course. It's a beautiful website. And over there, you'll find the course curriculum for semester 1, semester 2, because it's a 10 semester course. And that will be the best guide.
Actually, I would like to deviate now from this academic part to a more fun side. As you have mentioned that you're sharing room with BCom, LB, BLLB, and BBLB students. So, what is the hostel life at Jindal like?
Is that a question to everyone or is it to me?
Yes, they're open to all of you. I think all of you are staying in hostel, right?
Yes.
So it's an open question. If you have any incident that you would like to share for the future students, what to carry, what not to carry when joining General, do they need to carry weapons in order to secure themselves from ragging?
No, there's
Just
no
kidding.
sense of ragging. I think, see, at least from where I came from, even my school, there was no senior junior hierarchy. And even at Jindal, what I've noticed is obviously you do have seniors and you do have juniors. As per my personal experience, no, there is not an instance of ragging. That's what I have faced. And also, at the end of the day, the culture is very open. We have these buddy projects where your seniors actually make an effort to know the juniors, right? Seniors are very helpful. They send you notes all the time. If you have a problem, you can literally call up a senior and tell them, I'm feeling homesick, and people will be there to help you. So overall, people are very open. They're very welcoming. And I think yesterday I met Ruhi at actually probably another hostel common room, and we never knew we were going to be, speaking at this session today. So over there, I think my phone battery had, like probably gone dead, and Ruhi wasn't there. So I took her charger and I plugged it into my phone. And I was a bit nervous, like how will she react? And she was pretty welcoming again. So I think she is there, I am here. So people are pretty welcoming, people are pretty open-minded when it comes to Jindal. And I think overall the environment is pretty holistic. There is no instance of ragging that I have faced.
All right. What about the hostel life?
The hostel life. See, I do miss my house. I will not lie, but I think the kind of hostel facilities that are provided are one of the best in the country. We have support staff that is very, welcoming. They just sometimes knock on your door, beta, aapko kamra saaf karana hai. So that is how welcoming they are. And that is one. Second is most of the staff is sensitized towards probably, being how do I some places do have a certain kind of mindset towards female and male students. I haven't faced that, so probably the staff is pretty sensitized. We have a mess. Again, I do miss home food, but again, mess has good food and it is pretty edible and it is good healthy food, right? You have Indian, you also have, I think, Chinese, and you have continental, right? That you in every meal you have a dessert. Like today there was Sunday, so it's chola bhatura day, so that is something I look forward to. So it is pretty good. You also have a laundry station where you get these tags, you give them your clothes, and 2 days your laundry is done for you. So I think as a student, and probably like so I think we do get pretty good facilities.
I think parents would be more interested in knowing answer to this one. So laundry is taken care of by the university. I think your food is taken care of. Anything else? Safety, and what about medical aid? Because I've heard that campus is quite far off.
You do have a health center on campus that provides basic first aid and does have doctors from an affiliated hospital called the Tulip Hospital. So you do have basic medical aid available to you, but obviously you can't perform surgeries in the hospital, in the college. So you will have to take the student if just in case, God forbid, there's an incident. So there is an ambulance that takes you to a hospital as well.
Great. So how is Sonipat as a city? So Mansha shouldn't be answering this one.
Yeah. So like Sonipat is a small town. Like we are in close proximity with Delhi NCR, so we get good access with all those things. But like it's a small city, but I mean it is lush green. I would say there are farms all around. So like Jindal is in the village. It is outside. It's not in the main city. So I mean the city is like good enough because we have GT Karnal road connectivity, so it's famous for its restaurants and dhabas out there. But but the campus is like far away from the place, the city where actually things are there. So but we have literally everything in the campus, so we don't really need to step out in terms of food court, good mess and everything. So yeah. Everything is there, so you don't miss anything. Don't miss on anything.
All right. So I have already asked you guys about your future goals. I just want, it's a general question and all of you can pitch in. how do you think Jindal as an institute is helping you in fulfilling your dreams or in trying to achieve your dreams? How has Jindal been supportive in this field, and what are the things that they are doing which you find most useful for your future goals?
I'd just like to say that I think the biggest helping point that Jindal has offered me in terms of my career is the faculty. I think we have an incredible set of faculty. We have faculty from, I mean, we have Harvard law graduates, we have Yale law graduates, we have visiting faculty. Like for example, I recently joined something called the Law and Political Economy group. So the person who was helping us out with that is a visiting faculty who was a PhD student from Yale Law School. And I mean, he's incredible. He's very smart. And I think that, first of all, just having conversations with faculty like this, global faculty who have degrees from very renowned institutions, is incredible. And in addition to that, the faculty is always helpful. You can always send an email. You can always help them with research. They are more than They are more than helpful, honestly. Like if a student ever needs help, you will find it at Jindal, hands down. So the faculty is something that's very good. We also have a good career placement. We have an Office of Career Services, so they give you access to internships and placements. I think I heard that I think this year I heard that from the 5-year law program, they had seen the highest number of placements that has ever been seen in Jindal. So we have a great placement wing as well. We have incredible faculty, and in general, just the holistic development as well is very helpful for your future.
All right. So, Mancha, Sejal.
I completely agree with Ruhi on the faculty part. So whatever I have today is because of my professors. I would outrightly say that. I would mention a few names. So I met Professor Alexander Christoph Fischer. So he's from Germany and he lives on the campus. So he's one of the, I'm not if the founding, like he was one of the earliest professor at Jindal, and he teaches comparative judicial institutions as an elective. So in the very first year, I had the opportunity of assisting him in a project called Blind Judges Project, which we were doing in partnership with the University of Pune with Dr. Sanjay Jain. So I think this is the kind of environment that we get here. I mean, the professors, they support you immensely. I mean, you can drop them an email, you can ask them as many questions as you can. They'll be more than happy to help you all the time. Even today, like I'm in second year, so I met Professor Dr. Sakshat Bansal. So he teaches company law and contract law. So I said, Professor, I want to, do a research paper. He said, we'll do it together. And he even helped me in, publishing them. So I have a couple of research papers. I keep on writing. So I mean, I would have never imagined, doing it in school, or like can't even think of doing it without their support. So this is the kind of support that we get from their side. Also, we have Harvard graduates, Oxford graduates, and then for instance, I'm interested in studying law of seas. We have a professor from Iceland, Professor Gudmundur Eriksson, one of the eminent jurists. I mean, he has also been ambassador to Iceland. So the kind of experience and the quality of education that we get here, I think it's unbeatable, I would say.
Sejal, your take on that? Would you like to give shout out to any professor?
If I give shout out to one professor, then I'll have to give the shout out to a bunch of professors. But what I'll say is that, see, you have everything available on campus. We have one of the best professors, but at the end of the day, it's on the student, right? I think Mansha wrote an email to her professor that I would like to write a research paper, right? So probably when you start putting in that effort from your own side, automatically you can, probably yield the best knowledge out of the professor. That is one. Second is you have interdisciplinary learning available to you. You can take up courses from others, colleges, schools, right? That is available at your disposal. You also have access to probably professors connecting you to other professors or professors outside college. Like, probably, you can intern over here or probably referring you, things like that. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is what Ruhi and Mansha said, you have access to everything at the end of the day. It's on the student. How do you use those resources? Like you have the tools available, but how do you build that building for your career, irrespective of you going for corporate, legal, a startup or whatever, as a matter of fact, that you're choosing to do, it's on you how you use those tools or resources available to you.
So what I can gather is that yes, all your teachers are quite open and welcoming, but you will have to approach if you want some additional help from them, and I think they would be more than happy to help
Absolutely,
you
they're
out.
more than
Right?
happy to facilitate.
Correct. Chale, so I think enough about your academic things. Tell me something about extracurricular activities going on at your college. So how is sports culture? Is Jindal good at debating? And what are the other activities that you usually look forward to?
I think we have a vibrant sports culture. We have I mean, I personally am not really into sports, so I would not be the best person to ask about this, but I see a lot of sporting activities happening during the day. We have basketball, we have football, we have a couple of basketball courts, we have a couple of tennis courts, we have a badminton court, I believe. We have we have a lot of sports. We have a really nice gym right next to my block, which I personally have not utilized as of now. But I believe there's also an additional separate smaller gym in the girls' hostel in SH4. And we have a lot of societies. Recently, we have horse riding, and that's something that's very interesting. I've seen a lot of people posting videos of them riding horses, and sports is great. Societies is great. Horse riding. Yeah, I think we have a great extracurricular activities rep.
So that is a perspective of a viewer. What about participants? Sejal and Mansha, are you into sports?
So talking about the extracurricular activities on campus, I do go for Zumba classes and I also go to the gym. So we have a very good, fully functioning gym with trainers. That is one provision that is, provided to us by the college. We have 3 trainers that are there. They can help you with training. They, like, I have a knee injury, so they're currently helping me with strength training. So they are pretty much there. Obviously, not like a personal trainer, like that. But there again, you as a student have to go approach for the resource and get it for yourself. That is one. Excuse me. Then I do go for Zumba as well on campus. So we have a proper Zumba trainer who teaches us Zumba as well as yoga. So I go for that as well. It's been a very fun experience, like some days, like even you can be at the best college in the world, but you do have monotonous days. So Zumba just helps, the music and all, it just helps, lighten up my day. I do like to play badminton as well, though I do not play as a part of the college team or anything. It's more for leisure. So I do play sports here and there, probably some occasionally basketball as well, but not as a part of the college sports team or anything, or probably as a trained student. Though I do have friends who go for those classes. We have a sports festival as well called Magnus, if I'm not wrong. That is proper sports matches going on. And you do have, like you have kabaddi at college, students play
Oh, nice.
kabaddi. We have a MMA society that teaches MMA, mixed martial arts. You have horse riding, as Ruby said. And also, I think they might be training you for polo. I'm not sure about that. Because of my knee injury, I could not register. Unfortunately, I am recovering right now. And you do have access to probably other sports, regular sports like football. You have a jogging track on campus as well. So again, resources are available to you, but again, you will have to register for those.
All right. So what about internship, guys? Is there an internship cell at your institute, and is it helping you secure good internships during your summer and winter breaks, semester breaks?
Talking about internship, so we have a very very dynamic and very helpful internship cell that is by the name of OCS, Office of Career Services. So from the very first semester, I got internship offers from their side. So there was an app earlier. So we used to get emails from their side, and then we had to upload our resume, and then we have to select all the terms and conditions, agree upon them, and then our CV was, gone for the sent for the process and for the employer to see. So from the very first semester, I had this opportunity. In the first and second year, we usually get think tanks and NGOs. But as I got in my second year, like fourth semester, I got an internship at a law firm as well. So I went for an interview over there. So I mean, because this course is very new, I had to explain them, what all I can bring to the table, what all subjects I studied. So yes, they were very helpful. But again, you have to approach them. You have to show them your skills and obviously it will be a two-way communication. So the cell will definitely help you. And then after, it's on you and how you impress and how you communicate your skills to the employer.
All right. So, can you share a bit about your internship experiences? Like where all you guys have interned, and any incident from your internship experience that is worth noticing for the students to look forward to?
So in the first semester, I interned with an NGO, as I said. Then my last internship, I mean, it's a fresh experience, so I can share that. So it was with a law firm and a corporate advisory firm at New Delhi. So it's based out of Kailash Colony, very famous area. So my I would say the name Advocate Kanti Mohan Rustagi. I think he was very helpful. Very supportive to me, and I dealt with arbitration, insolvency cases. I even wrote an application to the Ombudsman, that is the Insurance Regulatory Development Organization Authority. So there was a case of ICICI Ombudsman case. So they were not giving insurance to the party. So we wrote multiple applications to them. So the process was really interesting, got to learn a lot. Then I also worked in IP area. So getting the trademark registration, getting it renewed. So these are the few areas that I focused on. And I was very fortunate enough, to get them through OCS. So that's how I got to build a connection with them.
Is it compulsory or mandatory for students to go for internship, or is it more like optional?
For BA Legal Studies, I think in COVID years, it was not compulsory because we are not mandated by Bar Council of India. But I think 90%, more than 90% of students avail this opportunity through OCS because we are getting good opportunities. So, I mean, most of them go for it, either through themselves or through the OCS cell. So they get the opportunity and then they go for it.
Even when it is not compulsory, 90% plus students are going for it.
Yeah.
Does that mean that law school is more like a rat race and everybody wants to secure as many internships or as many certificates as possible?
You can see from other perspective as well. Like people are more conscious about gaining practical experience. So we have studied. So I believe it's more about practical thing in law. I mean, the thing I study in books, when I implement them, it's on a completely different side. So I think it's about the experience I had been in July. So that was really, mind-boggling. So really fascinating. I now, as a person, believe that I enjoy working more, and reading, of course, is a part of my profession. I mean, the day you stop reading, you stop learning. So, but like practical experience, nothing can beat practical experience in the field of law. When you start implementing things, when you start doing things on your own, you start drafting agreements. So I drafted non-disclosure agreements. So drafting is an essential thing in law. Everyone would agree here. So that's how.
Great. Rohi, what about your experiences?
Okay, so I've only been in an non-COVID semesters for, I think this is my second non-COVID semester. So far I've not availed the OCS internship opportunities. I have sourced internships on my own. But there is a Bar Council requirement for internships for I think the 5-year law course and the 3-year law course. So we do have a requirement, but students usually prefer to pass the requirement. We prefer to do I think double the internships that are actually mandated of us, just for the reasons that Mancha said. Practical experience is always important. But I've had some great internships. I've been trying to intern in a very diverse fields, like corporate, human rights, NGOs. I've tried to do it all, and I think I've had a lot of fun. I've gotten to visit courts. I've gotten to go to the High Court. It's a beautiful building, the Telangana High Court, and I've had great fun in internships. I would really recommend that every law student do a whole lot of internships. It's a great way to pass your 2 months of summer and winter break, of course, and you also learn a lot. I think that it really helps you in a classroom setting as well.
Sejal, what about you?
Okay, so I sourced most of my internships on my own via my own network. So basically, as a student, you do have OCS available, and it is very helpful. But the best, source available for a student is LinkedIn. Just make a LinkedIn profile, post all your achievements over there, and even while you're probably doing it via OCS, why not send your LinkedIn profile? That's one of the best facilities available to you, right? Technology, again, you have to do it on your own. That's where a lot of people will not take action. So that is one. So, excuse me. So my first semester internship at law school was at an intellectual property firm. It's called Excel Patch. They're making a search engine for probably, people who are, startups who are probably trying to, make innovations and seeing if has this, innovation been registered earlier, and probably what kind of
Nice.
functionalities and licenses can be taken. So that was my first internship at law school. Before that, I had interned via my school at other places as well, or probably via my personal network. So that's how I got my internship. I wrote an email to the founder on LinkedIn. He had seen my LinkedIn profile and probably we had met previously, and he was more than happy to offer me an internship. So that was one, LinkedIn profile, and probably using your own network and also using OCS. Because sometimes what happens is when I recently joined law school, what I was told was, if you want to intern at a particular place, or and if you and there is a particular interest that you have and you have a certain profile, OCS can also help facilitate that for you by writing a LOR or something like that. So that is there. Excuse me, I have a bad throat. Another thing that you can do for your internships or to source internships is probably just ask your seniors where they've interned, right? Let's just say if you have a Jindal senior who's interned at a certain advocate's place and it was a good internship for the advocate, like, the intern was good to the advocate as well, they're more open to probably, welcoming alumni, because obviously at the end of the day, they are getting people to, help facilitate with some work, and obviously they are teaching them. So that is there mainly. So about it.
It's very great. So you guys have worked with law firms, with law chambers, you have worked with NGOs, think tanks. There's this general perception about law as a career, especially in second tier and third tier cities, that this field is not for girls. And here I have three girls sitting with me and talking about amazing field of law. So what is your message to parents and students who are still having second thoughts about law as a career? For is it suitable for girls or not?
I think any career is suitable for irrespective of your gender, because because I personally think it's more about your intellect and how you carry yourself. And I think it is especially very important for women, irrespective of being in the legal field, to know about their legal rights. I think it's more about a patriarchal mindset that just says that
Yes.
if girls become more aware, or if they probably get to know more about their rights, they might, probably disagree to certain practices that actually, try to dominate them. So yes, law is a profession for for a female, a male, or probably anyone from a third gender as well, right? That is one. Second thing is, law is not really about the gender, but how you articulate your arguments and also how well you network. Yes, there are certain reservations that I have also heard about that certain females do face, and when they are probably practicing at a law chamber or probably at a law firm. But at the end of the day, someone has to probably break the glass ceiling, and I think it has already been broken to a certain extent. So as long as you're diligent with your work and you know where to voice up, I think the field is pretty much welcoming.
Okay. Another uncomfortable question could be that people are concerned about safety and security in the field of in the NCR region. So when we talk to parents from southern India, or let's say western part of India, they have this kind of very negative image about Delhi NCR for the safety of women. How has your experience been so far about?
We're a isolated campus in
I
Sonipat,
see.
so we're not
Okay.
exactly connected to the Delhi NCR crowd. That is one. We have guards all across our campus. We do have female and male guards to ensure that there is equal comfort for people of different genders. Also, I think so. At least the experience for me has been very pleasant. But I think Ruhi and Mansha can answer it better. And also, Ruhi is from Telangana, again from South, so probably she can probably bring a better perspective to that question.
Ruhi, over to you.
Yeah, I think my parents had a little bit of a reservation regarding this issue as well. But I mean, I agree completely with what Sejal said. Just the campus is extremely isolated. Like, we are a small bubble. I know we are in Sonipat city, but we rarely, like, unless you actually go out there and But I would say that the campus and the surrounding environment around campus as well, to a certain extent, like I'd say a good 2 to 3 kilometers around here, I personally have genuinely never faced an issue. Our campus is very, very safe. It's very, very isolated. Yeah, Jindal, there is a lot of security. I would never say that there has been any incidents pertaining to the NCR region and women in the area. Our campus is extremely safe.
Chaliye. So,
To add
another
to
question.
Rogi's point, I would make one point. So I was listening
Yes.
to Vice Chancellor's interview. He said more than 50 to 55% of our students, come from South India and Northeast. So I mean, there is a level of security in this campus, as they mentioned. We have 50% divide in the female and the male guards. So the hostels are secure, and then it's a very safe environment in and around the campus. And they don't let any outsider to come in, without an appointment or a prior meeting. So it's a very safe and sound environment in terms of security for students specifically.
Chaliye. So, all of you have joined Jindal. I think you must have cleared LSAT. I'm not too sure about the BA program. Is LSAT score also applicable for BA program? Mansha?
So BA Legal Studies, they accept CLAT score and LSAT score, both of
CLAT
them.
and LSAT, both.
Yeah.
Okay. So students should either appear for CLAT or LSAT.
Or
And
LSAT.
for 3-year and 5-year law course, you have to go for LSAT, right? So guys, what are your tips for our future law aspirants in order to prepare or score high in LSAT? What are the key areas that they need to consider? Anything that you did and worked in your favor?
I didn't. I relied on practice mostly. I think there is no really like bookish way of studying for the LSAT personally. But I think that tips that I would give to people is read questions really, really carefully. I think that the questions can sometimes be complex and people could tend to maybe read between the lines and not focus on each and every single like as element of the sentence. I would say read very importantly, and I would say that for if someone is preparing for the LSAT, I'm not sure. Okay, the LSAT is happening a couple months away. I would say that you start honing those skills by you start reading immediately. You can read anything, books, articles, newspapers. I would prefer like articles, but I think that reading is a really important skill to have when you're going to write the LSAT. So develop a habit of reading, develop a habit of analyzing things when you are reading them, not just reading the whole sentence, but analyze the sentence in bits and parts. That is one thing that's very helpful.
Sejal, what's your take on this?
I do agree with what Ruhi said, right? At the end of the day, what you can do is probably read a lot. And if I'm not wrong, LSAT exam is mainly around English skills and maths, basic math, if I'm not wrong, Ruhi, right? And even Mansha.
You didn't appear for LSAT?
I did apply for my LSAT, but that was 2 years ago, sir.
Okay, so
So it's pretty much
not
that.
maths as such, it's more like logical reasoning.
Logical reasoning, yes, sir. And at the end of the day, see, if you're preparing for CLAT and you have good maths, and if you're also preparing, so you're pretty good to go. And LSAT is overall a very reasonable exam. There's no GK required, so it's a very good exam.
So no GK, no maths, no legal.
No, yeah, you only have probably requirements of English and another subject.
All right, so I will move on to Mancha. Meanwhile, you can scold your roommate. Chaliye Mancha, so bataiye. So anything which you would want students to keep, take note of.
So when we are in like 12th standard, we prepare for multiple exams. So LSAT specifically requires you to be very good in English and logical answering ability with, I think, basic quant, I would say, and logic. So if you are preparing for CLAT maths, as Sejal mentioned, you are indirectly preparing for that as well. I believe the level of LSAT is on a little easier side, I believe, and the reading skills and the ability to comprehend and understand, so that you're not just reading, you're analyzing it, and then you can answer those 4 questions, like paragraph based questions. So even the CLAT is following that method now, I believe. So and then you have platforms like IMS to hone your preparation skills.
Guys, there's a question on my screen. It says, I want to go for judiciary. So which course should I go for? BBLLB or BLLB? Anyone if you can answer. If somebody wants to prepare for judicial service, if that's the target, which program will be more helpful? Or is it going to make any difference at all? BBLLB versus BLLB?
I don't think it'll make more of a difference, but probably if you're really, really particular about your subjects, go for BA, but BBA is equally good for this course as well, right?
All right.
Mainly the fusion is different, but law remains the same. And at the end of the day, if you're going for a judiciary exam, then you should also focus on your judiciary preparation. So that is core. You might do BA LLB or BB LLB or BCom LLB, but at the end of the day, if you're not getting that rank, there's no point. So probably focusing on your judicial preparation would be more core.
So anonymous attendee, it's not about BA or BBA, it's more about your LLB. Please focus more on your core subjects. Please make sure that your procedural law is very strong. Please make sure that you have done well in your substantive subjects as well. So I consider this one answered. There's another question. Karishma Darla has a question. Can I crack Lsat if I start prep now? So how much time do you think is enough to prepare thoroughly for Lsat exam?
I think it depends on your intellectual capabilities. That is one. How well versed are you with the language and logic? Also, I think you should prep, take out questions, a basic set of questions of a certain number of papers every other, like a month before. You should start doing those practice papers as well, and also do practice papers beforehand as well. So, jitna zyada practice karo, utna better hai.
Ruhi?
I agree completely with Sejal. It depends on your intellectual capabilities at the end of the day. Practice is something that's very important. I think the LSAT would be over 5 months from now, right? So, if I'm not wrong, I hope I am.
Last year, LSAT happened twice.
Right. Honestly, I think that if you have just 1 month, you are still good to go. Just 1 month is enough. I think even like 2-3 weeks would be fine, as long as you are willing to put in that effort, as long as you are willing to put in that practice that is required. And as I said, reading is a very important skill. So that's something that in the long term you should be focusing on. But even in the short term, you can just start with the practice papers and it should be okay.
Yes. So your entrance preparation starts the day you realize that you need to crack an entrance. So जब जागो तब सवेरा, अगर आपको आज से पता चल गया है that LSAT is your target exam, then start working towards achieving your goal. And whatever time you have is always enough if you're willing to put in enough hard work. So let's consider that one answered. There's another question from anonymous attendee. What is the acceptance rate for semester exchange programs and the dual degree program? Okay, would anyone of you want to take this one? What is the acceptance rate for semester exchange programs and the dual degree programs?
I think I haven't gone for a semester exchange at the moment because we had a COVID semester previously. So I don't think I'm the right person to answer this. But we do have a office that specifically caters to semester exchanges. You can write to them, go on Jindal's website, and they'll be more than happy to answer all your queries. Otherwise, you can just talk to the Jindal admission team, and they can probably connect you with the right people concerned with it. We had a COVID semester, so I did not have the opportunity to go abroad.
Okay, so
I could answer this question
yes,
as I've applied for the semester exchange process. I have friends who've gone for pathways and semester exchanges as well from the senior batches. I think I'm not sure how the scenario looked pre-COVID, but post-COVID, I think that we have. I think the rate is pretty high. But the thing with semester exchanges, it's not dependent on the acceptance rate for the programs, but it's dependent on your rank essentially. So if you get a higher rank within the selection process, you would get a better choice of universities per se. But I think it again depends on what country you're looking
can
at.
you,
So that
break it down for the students? So when you're studying at Jindal, you can go for a semester exchange. That means you will be spending 1 semester at some university abroad, right? And in order to apply for that, you need to appear in some sort of test.
no, not exactly. So very recently I applied for the semester exchange process. So there is an application that you fill out, and you would have to give your statement of purpose and a written a writing sample. and then you would have an interview. And on the basis of all of this and your CV as well, they would be ranking you for the process.
Will you
So
also
the higher
require
the ranking,
LORs, letter of recommendations?
no, not for the semester exchange. I personally haven't experienced that. Um, this is just my personal experience. But yeah, on the basis of that, you get ranked, and on the basis of that, you could choose a university of your choice.
Okay,
Apart
which
from the
are the
semester
universities
exchange,
that people from Jindal have been joining or going to for their exchange programs?
oh, there's a lot of universities. So for me, I think a couple of universities offered were UC Davis, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, and we had University of Georgia, we had Seattle University, we had a couple of universities in Taiwan, we had a couple of universities in Barcelona. Isard Law School was something that was available to us. So Jindal has a lot of collaborations with a lot of universities abroad. So for the pathways for programs, I think we have collaborations with Cornell University, Calgary in Canada, King's College London. These are just friends that I have who've gone here. So I'm just naming a
So
couple.
Ruhi, I will take it a step further and say how are the financials worked out in these scenarios? Because let's say a semester tuition fee at Cornell would be much higher than what they are charging at Jindal.
Okay, so for the semester exchange, you would not have to pay for the fees at the partner universities that you're going to. So, for example, if I'm going for a semester at UC Davis Law School, I would not have to pay the fees over there. I would pay the semester fees at Jindal, but I would pay for my own accommodation, my own travel, all those extra expenses. So, tuition is covered, and the rest is, you just have to fund yourself.
That's fine.
But for the pathway programs, you do have to pay for the respective tuitions of the universities that you're going to, because that's essentially an additional degree that you're getting.
So pathway program is different from exchange program, right?
Yeah,
So
the
can you throw
pathway
some
is
light on
another
the
degree.
pathway program? What is it and who all can apply?
The pathway program is an additional degree. So you finish your degree maybe 1 year early or one semester early at Jindal, depending on which program you're going for. And then you go to get a second degree. So you finish your degree here, and the Jindal basically gives you a chance to graduate early, and they give you a more streamlined applications process, which is Jindal students only essentially.
Great. Okay, guys. What about the scholarships available at your institute? I've heard there are many scholarships on merit as well as means basis. So, is any one of you using those facilities? Anybody on a scholarship here?
Yeah, I'm on a scholarship.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. But
Yeah,
aware about the scholarships available. One would like to answer that one, Rohi.
So I'm on the Savitri Jindal scholarship,
Nice.
and there are tons of scholarships available. I'm not sure about the JGLS policy, but as far as I'm aware, in the business school, they were giving scholarships to students who had secured 80% and above in their high school. But I'm sure our policies differ. You can't really stick with that. But there are quite a lot of scholarship opportunities available. I have a lot of friends in my classroom who have availed scholarship opportunities. And Jindal scholarships are mostly based on your LSAT score. So the higher you score, you get a better scholarship. But
Your
as
LSAT
far as
score
I'm
would
aware,
be only used for your first semester or first year, or will it continue for all 5 years or all 3 years?
the scholarship is renewable on an annual basis based on your performance in Jindal. So for the
Great.
first year, you get the scholarship based on your LSAT score, but afterwards, based on your performance, your scholarship will get renewed.
All right. Mansha, Sejal, would you guys like to add on something?
Yeah, so we have second component of the scholarship. So the first scholarship is that we get at the outset, like the higher you score in LSAT, you get accordingly 80%, 90%, 70%, whatever concession you get. The second method of getting scholarship is MCM, that is merit cum means scholarship. So for the students, whose combined parental income is less than 30 lakhs, so they can produce their financial statements of 3 preceding years, and then they can file for the scholarship. The only criteria is that your CGPA should be above 6.5 out of 8, and then you can also get your name nominated through research centers, you can get LORs, and if you have anything any accolade that you have for the university, you can attach that as well. So the higher you have in your plate, you can apply for it, the higher is your chance of getting that scholarship. So you get either 50% or 30%. Many of my friends have availed this opportunity. and they have
Right.
got it.
And your family income should be less than 30 lakhs.
Yeah,
That's a very comfortable limit to provide, Shalil. Nice.
yeah. I mean, that also shows that they have the motive of giving it. Additionally, we got a news that we got 2 crore rupees for Abhishek Manu Singhvi
Single
endowment.
correct.
Yeah. So I mean, seeing the quantum of students, I think the scholarship, bowl is also increasing. So I mean, there are a lot of ways to get quality education in case there is any constraint.
So for those of you who are not aware, Abhishek Manu Singhvi sir has recently donated 2 crore rupees to Jindal Global Law School, and that money will be utilized to provide scholarship. They are going to provide a gold medal for anyone who does well in administrative law. There will be a lecture series named after, I think, his father,
Yeah.
LM Singhvi sir, right? So there are a couple of activities that Jindal will be conducting every year because of this grant. Chale, so there's one more question. How do the financials of the dual degree program work? I don't know the exact question here. So
I think he's
I
asking
think
the charges.
yes, why not?
So at least for my degree, every year for my academics, I pay 6 lakh. Is that what he's asking?
Yes, about the fees. How does the
think that
financial
you
program
might
work?
be
I think some
asking.
parent might be interested in knowing what budget they shall keep.
I think this is about the pathway program. So there is something called a dual degree program, which offers you the opportunity to go for a JD degree after your program. If
All
I'm
right.
not wrong,
So
this is what the
because
dual
it is
degree is.
anonymous attendee, we are not sure about the question. We'll try to answer it both ways. So,
Yeah.
right. So what about the pathway program?
Oh, so as I mentioned, you have to pay the fees over there. You would graduate 1 year early in Jindal or 1 semester early, so you're exempt from paying that amount for your final year. But apart from that, you would have to pay for the fees at the partner universities. As far as I'm aware, scholarships have been given, but I'm not sure to what extent. I've not sat through the process
Right.
myself.
So yes, this question was about the JD dual degree program. Anonymous attendee has clarified. So that's fine. I think this is somebody from your college trying to ask, how do they assign student housing? And is it true that everyone wants to get into SH10?
That may be true, but that's a boys' hostel, so I'm not sure about that.
That's a
Um, so you get allocated based on your batch essentially. So you get allocated a particular hostel block based on your batch, and after that you can bid for the roommates that you want.
And it's all up to you. That means you can change your roommates. You
Yeah,
can.
your roommates are up to you. I'm not sure about first years. I think first years might get randomly allocated. I would not be the best person to answer this question.
So is it batch wise, or you can pick your roommate from, I don't know, anyone from the university?
no batch mates.
Batch wise.
It's
Mainly
usually batchmates. Yeah, my roommates are in a different batch, but that's because we coincidentally got allocated the same hostel. Usually, it's just batchmates.
All right. Chale, so let's consider this one answer too. Tips for LSAT was already answered. So we'll move on. When are the applications for LSAT opening for January 2023? Well, Shreya, answer will be available on your portal. Check out your My portal. We have upcoming exam sheet. It's an Excel sheet available on each and every student's account. Just click on that. You will find all details regarding upcoming major law entrance exams. Right. And if any one of you wants to add on to that, more than welcome to do that. So LSAT January 23 के applications कब से open हो रहे हैं? Let us take care of that. That is available on your IMS portal. Check it out. Whenever notification is out, we update that sheet so no student misses out on any deadline. Okay. All right. So anonymous attendee again. I think this is a bit of a relevant question. I have heard so much about a certain Sandeep Bhaiya. Is he still there? I see you guys giggling. So I think he's like Radhi Bhaiya of your school. Is that so?
Would you like to take that up, Ruhi?
I don't know. It's all up to you. I can skip the question if you want.
It's just our local coffee provider. We have a coffee joint in college that
Oh,
provides
nice.
us with our coffee. We're very loved by the student body.
Great, great. So, I think we have taken up almost all the questions that were available. So, any last message to all the students that were watching this session? Would you like to give them any welcoming message for those of them who are going to join Jindal? Why should anyone look forward to join Jindal? Let's end with this question. What's your take on this? Why Jindal?
Jindal is, I think this was mentioned by Sejal before, but it's a very welcoming environment. Your seniors will be very welcoming and they will be very helpful. You can make a lot of connections here. You can make a lot of friendships here. I think I think the student community is very great. Personally, apart from all the academic stuff that we've discussed, extracurriculars is something that you can really look forward to. There's always something to do here. There's always someone to talk to here. There's a lot to do, and I think that's a college experience that everyone should have.
Okay. Mancha, same question goes to you. Why Jindal?
So if you are focused, I would sum up in like one line. If you're focused, you seek for quality education, and you can definitely come here because this place offers the best in terms of education and the infrastructure that you can seek for. And obviously I mentioned about the scholarship facilities, and also particularly about my course. So we have specially dedicated society to this course. So we have pre-mode society, Society for Legal Studies. So if you are, you're keeping that option aside. So this is a very welcoming place for your overall development. Law is not just, about studying. It's about making connections. It's about, not just giving exams, passing, and then, just getting your degree, getting placed. So if you are joining, for instance, litigation, you need to have those connections. You need to have those, skills. I think this is the place for you. And if you are focused, you have a clear goal, then please consider this place.
Sure. So, Sejal, would you like to say something?
Absolutely. See, our college, excuse me, my throat. So what I'm trying to say is that the college does not focus only on academic development, it focuses on 360 development. And when you go out as a person, you might get the best placement in the world. But over there, you will have office politics. Over there, you'll have to conduct yourself in a certain way. To crack clients, you'll have to conduct yourself in a certain manner, right? So for that, you will have to have certain kind of, extracurricular development as well. So there is focus on academics. We have one of the best faculty available to us. We do have good provisions available, probably facilities outside academics also available to us at hostel. So when those things are taken care of, you as a student are more carefree, कि अब खाने का चिंता नहीं है, कपड़े cleaning का चिंता नहीं है, that is all taken care of. So now I can probably focus on building myself as a person, building my skills, building my sports or something you're interested in.
Sure. Thank you, Sejal, for that. There are a couple of questions on YouTube live right now. I have Chirag Singhvi asking, does interacting with people help in improving reasoning? Well,
Depends.
if your interaction is all about sweet talks and short talks, it won't. But if it is more of an argumentation or discussion, then definitely it will help you in improving your reasoning skills. I think there's another question. How many questions to attempt in CLAT? Musical Devedi. Well, it depends on the level of difficulty in the question paper and also depends on how well prepared you are. So try to answer maximum correct answer. That means you should know the right number of questions that you will be getting correct. So we have taught you about, if you are IMS student musical Devedi, then check with your mentor. They will give you test taking strategy and that will help you in finding out the exact number of questions that you need to attempt in your mock test and your actual exam. Then Jandu has a question, best Lsat online coaching. Obviously, IMS gets it law. There is no other alternative or second option for that. So that was another question I think directed at me. So check out IMS Gets It Law's website. Right. Abhishek Yadav has a question, how can I increase my scores in mock? Book a one-to-one session with any of your mentors. On your MyIMS portal, there's an option to pick my plan session. Pick a session with any your law mentor. They will go through your mock analysis. They will go through your test performance and they will diagnose it and give you the solution. How are you going to increase your score in a particular exam or mock? Right? I hope, Abhishek, that answers your question. Okay, there's one more question of Diya Surya. It's more of a request. Can I get all of your Instagram handles or any way to keep in touch? You just leave a comment once this live session ends. Go ahead, go to YouTube, check out, find out this video, leave a comment. They will definitely come back and check out how many views they have got, and they can get in touch with you. I hope that's one solution. If you guys would like to share your Instagram handles, you're free to do that too.
It's my name.
I will just put a link for my LinkedIn profile over here. So if anybody wants to connect with me via that, you can.
That's it. So that link will be available as a comment on the YouTube channel. You can go and check it out. Chali, so I think it was a very healthy discussion. I truly enjoyed it. Thank you so much, guys, for taking out time on a Sunday afternoon and guiding students. Check it. Abhishek, your question is related to your mock performance. We can discuss that during mock analysis session, or when you are booking your my plan with your mentors. That will also resolve your query, right? So you understand English passage, but the whole summary I can't answer. That is typically related to your mock performance. Let's take that in your mock analysis session. Okay, thank you so much, Ruhi, Ati, Mansha, Nagpal, and Sejal Sood. And thank you, Jindal Global Law School, for this amazing session. And I look forward to meet all of you once again at some other session, some other day, some other time. Once again, thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you, sir.
So guys, if you guys enjoyed this session, don't forget to hit that like icon, click on like, share and subscribe. Yaad rakhiye, baatne se gyan badhta, saath mein subscribers bhi. If you have any question which you think remained unanswered, you can leave it as a comment once this live stream ends. We will forward it to Mansha, Sejal and Ritu, and they can get back to you, or at least we can get back to you with the correct answer. Chale, thank you so much. We'll meet again in another session of Insight at IMS Gadget Law.